Hi, this is my take on double hooks, specifically for the event that we've got on the weekend at Bala. If anybody just wants to know how to tie them, this is my take. I'm not saying it's the only way to do it, the way to do it or anything. I'm just saying this is how I do it. Never have any problems with them. So what I've already got a short length of 4 pound Maxima, which is there, durable, perfect, and that has got on the end of it a Series 18 in a size 14. Might seem like a big hook, but we never fish small hooks at Bala, so the size 14, and I've got that to about 8 inches, something like that, and that just sits there. And then for the main part of the hook length, or the rig, that's all I use. Milo Crepton, absolutely bomb-proof, brilliant line. And I do them in, depending on the what I want it to do, but 0.16 for these ones. These are the heavier ones, the two, so 0.16. And then what I'm going to do is tie another hook on the end of this. With my Stonfo hook tie it right down to below the hook point. Again, some people do only like 6 to 8 turns to 10 turns. It's probably 16 turns on there, something like that. So whip it right the way down to the bottom of the eye, and then just tease that through. It pulls in, perfect. Loosen it off. Take that out. Now, I don't know if this is a new thing or if anybody else does this, but whenever I'm tying my hooks, whether it be doubles or singles or whatever, no matter what the length, I always put the hook in the hook tire, and then just put a tiny little dab of Vaseline onto the shank of the hook, because for me what it stops it doing is burning, and it just glides through when you're tying the hook down. So snip that off. Look who's here, right on cue, Cagsy Parry. So that's it, another Series 18 size 14 tied to 0.16 Crepton. And what I do is take the Crepton off the table, and then I pull, no matter what length you want. I'm tying these really long, and I can maybe trim them down if I need to on the bank, and I've tied that, I would say that's about 6 foot. It's my full arm length, so it's about 6 foot. Snip that off. There's the tag end. Loop that, put a little loop in there, double them over. For all you OCD freaks, little loop tie just to make sure all the loops are exactly the same. Wet that up, pull that down. Alright, mate. There we go. And this is the double hook bit. So what I do now, stretch the hook length back out and find just below the halfway point on the hook length. So that's right there. So that's probably 2.5, 3 foot. Pinch that. Get your hook length now that's got tied with the 4 pound Maxima, and lie that dead straight right in the middle of that hook length, so that both lines are together. Don't know if you can see that, like that. And then dead simple, chuck a loop in that and pinch the loop, so you've got about 1.5 inches of that 4 pound Maxima that's coming off that 0.16 Crepton. And then it's dead simple from that point. All I do, loop that over, just pass both of them through, and I always find it easier to drop the longer one through and pull it through there, and then the shorter one like that, and do the same again. Always go through twice, pull that through, and then pop your 4 pound max seamer through. There we go. That generally tightens up that on the second loop, because obviously the longer piece is there. And that's it, that's what you end up with. You just face that down. That's it. And then what you do, wet that loop, grab all 4 pieces. So you got the 4 pound max seamer and the tag end of the crept on, and then the 4 pound max seamer with the hook going down to the other hook, and then just pull that nice and tight, pull that down, and that'll give you a second tail of about 2 inches, something like that, which I've seen people use like a second tail of 4 inches. I've seen people just having it so the shorter, the top hook just kicks off the side like an inch. I've tried that myself, but generally I've just settled now on that. So what you end up with, to show you the whole hook length, that's the bottom hook there, and then you go up, and then halfway that's your top hook kicking off. And I always tie it so the hook kicks off that way, so in the cast the pressure's against that side of the line. If you tie it the other way, what I've found is if it kicks off that way as you cast, because the pressure's going forward, that wraps round. That never wraps up for me, never had a problem with that. And then pull that, make sure that's nice and tight, trim that down, and that's it. That's your second hook kicking off your top hook, and that's it. And again, who am I to say? I'm not saying that's the right way to do it, I'm not saying it's wrong. All I'm saying is we use double hooks a lot on Bala, we use them at Rudyard, all places like that, and I've never had a problem with them like that. So again, components: 4 pound max seamer for the top hook, 016 crept on. I have tied some longer ones up to 3 pound max seamer and 014 crept on. That's just a thing that I've done just to lighten off a little bit, you don't have to. And then the spools, Simo loop tire, Simo loop maker, and that's it. Pair of scissors, done. Double hooks, and I've tied like 30 up for the weekend. You probably won't need that many. So hope that's helped. If anybody wants to, who's never tied a double hook before, if you want to get in touch and you want me to go through it again, I can do. Again, I'm not saying that's the right way or the wrong way, it's just the way I do it. Hope it helps. Adios.